It's the biggest week in gaming, so we've got an extra big show for you today. Hey there everyone, I'm Aidan and welcome back to Level Up, the show where we bring you the biggest and best gaming news from the past week. This week on the show we've got a ton of news from E3, the annual Electronic Entertainment Expo going on right now. And there's so much news to talk about. Yes, I know the show is getting uploaded a little bit later than it's supposed to, but trust me, we've got a ton of gaming news. So sit back, buckle up, and let's jump right into the gaming news. Let's talk about Google Stadia, Google's new cloud gaming service that was unveiled back in March at GDC. For those who haven't heard of it yet, I'll try my best to oversimplify it. Basically, instead of playing games on your computer or game console, where your computer or game console must process the graphics of the games you play, Google wants to help by doing all of the processing in the mysterious cloud and streaming back a 4K video feed of the game to your PC, phone, or TV. Google is hoping that you'll get their gaming service instead of having to save up lots of money and buy a really expensive gaming PC or console in order to play your favorite games at max graphical settings. You might be concerned about latency, and I am too, but Google says they managed to create a system that won't suffer from lag or latency as long as you've got a good enough connection to the internet. Google recommends a connection between 10 megabits per second and 40 megabits per second if you want to play games on Stadia. If your internet can handle those speeds, then great, you're ready to play. Okay, but we've already known these details for several months now. What's new? Well, this week, Google finally released the price model for Stadia, announced the game lineup, and even gave us a launch date. First, prices. Yes, you'll still have to pay for most games on Stadia. If you want to start gaming on Stadia when it launches, you'll also have to pay for Stadia Pro, since the free version of Stadia isn't coming until 2020. Stadia Pro will cost $9.99 a month, and will get you a few free games and a shiny badge as well. There's also the Stadia controller, which you can buy from the Google store for $79. It's available in a few colors and connects directly to the cloud so you can play games with little latency. If you want to get on Stadia as soon as possible, Google recommends buying the Stadia Founders Package, which gets you an exclusive Stadia controller, a Chromecast Ultra, some 3-month Stadia Pro subscriptions for you and a friend, and a copy of Destiny 2 on Stadia. Next up, games. The gaming lineup on Stadia is interesting. Here's the full list of games on Stadia so far. Including one exclusive and a few AAA titles, there are some notable exclusions, however. Minecraft and Fortnite are some of the world's most popular games, and they won't be on Stadia now and maybe forever. Stadia is coming this November, so if you're really interested in it, maybe just a Google fanboy, or want to try out cloud gaming, you can look forward to the release of Google Stadia this November. Microsoft dropped a big sneak peek at its next generation Xbox console called Project Scarlet. Not much was revealed since the console isn't launching until the 2020 holiday season, but Microsoft did flex a little and dropped some important details about just how powerful this new console really is. Scarlet will be 4 times more powerful than the current Xbox One X, which is pretty powerful thanks to an AMD graphics chip. Scarlet will have an SSD for faster game loading and will be capable of outputting 120 frames per second. Microsoft also claims that the Xbox will be 8K capable, which should be really interesting. Also, it will have a disk drive, despite some rumors suggesting Microsoft would ditch it. Alright, so now that we've talked about Microsoft, let's talk about their competitor Sony. Oh wait, we can't, because they don't do E3 anymore. Electronic Arts had some goodies to unveil at E3 this year, including a great lineup of new games. We got our first look at Respawn Entertainment's new Star Wars game, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. EA revealed a first look at the gameplay, including its thoughtful combat system, and some other good stuff. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order comes to Xbox One, PS4, and PC on November 15th. Next up, Apex Legends, the hit Battle Royale game from EA, was talked about quite a bit at EA Play this year. Apex Legends Season 2, called Battle Charge, starts on July 2nd. There's a new character, Watson, who's kind of a techie guy, plus there's a new gun coming to the game as well. Battlefield 5 also got to drop some announcements during EA Play, including new maps and the introduction of private servers in the game. The game has also been added for free on Xbox One and PS4 if you subscribe to EA Access. EA also dropped some announcements about its latest sports games, FIFA 20 and Madden NFL 20, which are coming later this year, plus there's a new expansion pack for The Sims 4. Watch Dogs Legion is the latest installment to Ubisoft's Hackerman game series, and it's going to be set in London. Plus, there's a grandma named Helen who beats people up. What more could you ask from a game? The new game, which is set in a dystopian future ruled by killer flying robots, has a storyline based on liberating the city from the evil oppressors by wreaking havoc on the CTOS system that controls them all, similar to the previous two games, Watch Dogs and Watch Dogs 2. Unlike the previous Watch Dogs games, this latest one will feature multiple protagonists since the storyline is all about creating a rebellion group. It looks like an interesting game that you should check out if you want to, but you'll have to wait a while as the game won't be out until March 6th, 2020. There was also a trailer for Gods and Monsters coming out February 2020. We also saw a trailer for Roller Champions, which is exactly what the name suggests. We also saw the latest Rainbow Six game, Rainbow Six Quarantine. There's a new Just Dance 2020 game which will release for Xbox One, PS4, Stadia, Nintendo Switch, and the Wii. Yes, the Wii. Ubisoft also announced updates to The Division 2, which will be getting new episodes, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which will be receiving a storyline creator mode, where you'll be able to create your own quests, and discovery mode, which lets you wander around the map unbothered by enemies. It's now time to take a look at some of the titles Nintendo brought to E3 this year. And we're starting off with possibly the most exciting thing they unveiled, a sequel to Breath of the Wild. I'm looking forward to this, and I hope you are too. Plus, The Witcher 3 is coming to Switch, so Nintendo Switch fans have one more big title to look forward to coming to Switch later this year. Team Red announced some goodies this week at E3. If you're in the market for some new graphics cards or a new CPU, AMD just announced two new Radeon graphics cards, the Radeon 5700 and the Radeon RX 5700 XT. The first costs $379, while the RX 5700 XT costs $449. They're designed to compete with NVIDIA's RTX 2070 and 2060 cards. However, the NVIDIA cards continue to drop in price, having more features and lower power usage. It might not be the best buy unless you're extremely dedicated to Team Red. Meanwhile, AMD's new 3rd generation CPUs are coming out as well. And let's be honest, these cards swamped Team Blue in a head-to-head matchup between AMD's Ryzen 9 3900X and Intel's i9 9900K. Both cards processed 1440p gameplay smoothly, but when it came to gaming and streaming 1080p, the Intel card flat out failed against AMD's, failing to even get 2 frames per second. Looks like Team Red comes out with the W at least once this time. And that concludes Level Up this time. Thank you for tuning in and listening to all the gaming news this week. Make sure to comment, like, subscribe, and check us out next week for all the gaming news. Goodbye.